Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. And was just telling the ladies before we started recording that tonight I wanted to come on and talk about consistent daily habits, things that I kind of made a list of the things that I do every day consistently for my business, and just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea. And of course, your list may look totally different, as I know each and every one of us are in different places in our business and we have different things going on in our lives every day. So your daily habit list may be totally different. But I think the key point, and I'll try to repeat it again later on at the end, consistency, of course, is the key to any habit. Because if you don't do it consistently, well, then it's not really considered a habit, is it? But so, like I said, I kind of just started making a list of some of the things that I do. And some of these things I kind of do in the evening time before I go to bed at night. So I'll kind of start with those first. Um, I do have the Scentsy planner, and I'll be completely honest with you. Sometimes I am more consistent at using this than other times. So this is kind of how it looks on a weekly basis. This is Monday through Sunday. And I'll try to each night before I go to bed, and some things I already have pre-planned out, like appointments and stuff, but I'll try to jot down what I know that I need to accomplish the next day. If I'm needing to finish Happy Mail, or like today I did inventory because I know I'm going to be needing to place an inventory order for some fall shows I have coming up. So anything that I know that I need to do the next day, I go ahead and jot that down on the next day's calendar slot. And the new 2024 calendars, I believe, will be available here before too long. I can't remember when they said those were going to be available in the consultant store, but they run from January to December. So I'm not worried about getting one until closer to the end of the year anyway. But I do love these because, of course, they're specific to Scentsy, and so they have a lot of neat things in there that you wouldn't find in, just a Happy Planner or something else from the store. But so like I said, I try to do that the night before, plan out my day, prioritize my to-dos. And then I also, especially if I know I'm going to have a busy day the next day, if something's going on with the kids, or we have appointments, or I have obligations earlier in the day, a lot of times I'll go ahead and try to schedule some posts prior to, so that I know that my posts are covered for the next day. I'd love to tell you that I'm one of those people that sit down on Sunday and plans out and schedules all of my posts for the entire week, but I'd be lying to you because I don't do that. A lot of times it's the day before, it's the day of, but it is wherever you do post, whether it's on your personal Facebook, your Instagram, your stories, if you have a VIP group where you post, or you have a business page, wherever you post, the more consistent you are about posting, which I normally in my VIP group post, 2 or 3 times a day, usually in the morning, usually once around noontime, where I think people might be on a lunch break and might be, catching up on Facebook, and then one later on in the evening where people might be catching up, after dinner and before bed and all that kind of stuff. So I do try to schedule at least 3 posts a day. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, depending on, what's going on. And there are, I've used these before. I'm not currently using one, but I saw some really neat ones posted out in a group the other day on consistency calendars. are really cool to use. And I'm sure you could probably Google, or I can share some of the ones that I found earlier in our group. But it's just a calendar for the month. And you can make your own, of course. You can print a blank calendar. You can kind of pencil in the dates that we know that we have launches coming out, like the new Villains collection will be coming out on the 18th, I believe is that date. And, then October 1st is going to be our holiday collection. And so you can kind of start penciling in items there where you can plan out, how far in advance you want to start promoting something and taking pre-orders, or if you want to wait until, a day or two before. And then some of those content calendars are really cool for giving you ideas on things to post. If we don't have things, that are coming up or going on, maybe just engagement posts or things like that. So, if I don't end up posting the night before, maybe I know that I don't have a lot of things going on the next day. Sometimes when I first wake up in the morning before I even get out of bed, a lot of times I'll go ahead and schedule my posts from my bed before my feet even hit the ground. So, I at least try to make sure that I have a couple posts planned for the day. And, if you have a group, you can use the scheduling feature on there to schedule your posts out on your personal page. And I don't really know much about Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. Facebook's kind of my jam. But I know on your personal Facebook profile, if you do change yourself to a business profile or a content creator, I can't remember what they're calling it these days, you can actually schedule posts on your personal page if you do change that. So I am able to schedule posts on that as well. And then this next item is something that I do personally. And I understand that it's not everybody's personal preference, but I'm just telling you something that I personally do. Every morning when I do get up and I come into my office, one of the first things I do is I pray over my business. I just ask God to, look over me and my business for the day, to be my business partner, put the people in my life that are good for me and good for my business. And, then I go about my day. And like I said, I understand that's not everybody's preference, but I'm just telling you one of the things I do. Record your numbers. I know this, as a brand new consultant, this might be a redundant task, but it's something that I've not always done. And I heard a lot of leaders talking about recording your numbers every day. And at first I thought, I don't really have daily numbers to record. I don't know why I should do that. And back to the little planner, I'll just flip. There is a daily tracking log where you can track your numbers every day. And you can see there's a few days that I forgot to do it. But I try to be as consistent with that as I possibly can. And so every morning when I wake up, the first, after talking to God, I go ahead and I go on to the workstation, and I go to the reports, and I go to my performance. And that tells me all the numbers that you need to track on the daily tracking log. And if you don't have this, the ones that it asks you to record is your PRV, your team, if you have people under you, your team wholesale volume, your group wholesale volume, which if you're not a director or above, those numbers will be the same. Your group number, your team number, again, if you're not a director or above, those will be the same. And then active frontline, those are people that you've personally brought into the company, if they have $200 or more in PRV. And then new frontline, and those are people that you've personally brought into the company during this calendar month. But what I have found as I have been tracking my numbers over the last few years, it's really annoying to me to be stuck. and record the same stinking numbers every day. And so it's almost like a mind over matter kind of thing where it's like, okay, I know I need to be doing stuff today to make those numbers move. And if there's particular numbers that you want to move, you can kind of plan your day to be focusing on that area. If you want to focus on your own PRV and making that number climb, or if you want to be helping your front line get active, you can focus on, talking with them and, seeing what you can maybe do to help them along the way and to help them get active or motivate them to want to get active. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But, just maybe an encouraging conversation might help someone want to do more in their business. And knowing that you're there to answer questions and to help might help spur them on as well. So, like I said, record your numbers, even if they are the same every day. At least you know where you are each and every day when you get up. And then update your goal trackers. If you don't have a goal, you need a goal because otherwise, what are we working for? But I do have, and I'll kind of pull a couple of these down for you to see. So I do have on my little whiteboard right here, right beside me, I do have the incentive trip tracker that I printed right off of the workstation. And I love being able to fill in the little circles on my trip points. So I also have, you can't see without me turning my computer, but right above my tracker, I do have written on my whiteboard how many points I currently have. And so I get excited to erase that and change it every day. Not every day I get to change it, but I try to make sure that number moves. And then I also have the annual awards tracker. I've got a couple notes on there, but this I've printed straight off of the workstation as well. And this not only tracks the annual sales award, but also the annual mentor award. And so on the annual sales excellence, you can highlight each month as you're consistently going through and getting your PRV needed to track. It's, in case you don't know, the annual sales is 30,000 PRV in a year. Sounds like a lot. It's broken down into $2,500 a month. If you consistently do that, then you're on your way to earning annual sales. So I love to try to stay on track for that. In all honesty, I've earned it one time, but I'll be darned, I'm going to try to earn it again this year. And then the annual mentor, that is personally sponsoring 14 or more consultants who reach certified in a calendar year, which our calendar Cincy year is from May to the following April. So I've been writing down the new consultants that I sponsor and the date they join, and then I get to check mark when they get certified. So I update those every morning. And I also have right above that written on my whiteboard how much PRV I have for the annual sales award. And I won't try to get too carried away with all of that, but if you don't know how to track that, let me know and I'd be happy to tell you where in the workstation you can pull that report. It's really easy to check it once you know where to find it. Then I try to learn one new thing every day. Whether it's watching a training video, whether sometimes I don't get it done during the day. Sometimes I lay down at bed at night, and I have several books that I have purchased over the years about direct sales and training on parties and all kinds of various things like that. So if I don't get any training videos watched during the day, a lot of times I'll try to at least read for 30 minutes before I go to bed at night. But there's tons of groups out there that have training videos going on. There's one group this month for August. I know I've shared it a time or two in our group. It's there's like 3 R's. but I can find that and share it again. But they have a different presenter every day, and they're supposed to stay to 20 minutes for their presentations on their live videos. And then they're really good to share resources too. If there's a certain file or something that they've shown, a lot of times they'll share that in the group as well. So this month I've had plenty training videos to watch, with trying to keep up and watch one of those every day. Cincy has the All Consultants training call every Tuesday. If I'm not able to be on and watch it live, I try to go back and watch the recording. It's usually posted by Wednesday or Thursday of that week. And even if you can't join that training call, if you go ahead and go into the training section of your your workstation, you can still sign up for the training call, and you'll get an automated reminder message telling you when the meeting or when this training is starting. And then once they have posted the recording, you'll also get another video. So even if you know you can't watch it live that day, if you still sign up for it, you'll get that reminder when the recording is posted. So I still like to try to do that, even if I have an appointment or something that I can't make it. Thank yous. I try to make sure one of the first things I do too is to go into my order history. Of course, we get, an email from Cincy anytime someone places an order on our PWS. And I always try to make sure within 24 hours that I am sending either an email or a text message to that person, thanking them for their order. If it's somebody that I personally already know and have, on Facebook or something, I may just shoot them a Facebook message and tell them thank you for ordering. And then I also have my own little system of thank you mail that I send out. And again, that's something that can look totally different for wherever you are in your business. Maybe you just get a package of 10 or 12 of the generic thank you notes at the dollar store, and you just handwrite a quick little thank you note and drop that in the mail to your customer, thanking them for their order. A lot of times I do scent circles I'll get for free in my host rewards. And so I actually have a little drawer that I keep my free ones in. So anytime I do have a new PWS order, I like to go to that drawer, and if I have time, I'll try to take a look at the scents that they ordered and try to pick something similar that I think that they might like based on the selection of scents that they ordered. I don't always have exactly what I think they may like, but hey, they may love what I send and they may have an idea for their next order. So like I said, be sure you're thanking your customers, especially for those surprise orders. And then I work on my follow-ups. And the follow-up is a whole nother video, maybe even 2 or 3 more videos where we could talk about all kinds of different ideas and ways that you can follow up with your customers. There's lots of different ideas on what is the best frequency to follow up with customers, but I have struggled to come up with a follow-up system since we lost the Amy system a little over a year ago. But I have recently, over the last 6 months or so, I actually went back to a system that I used before Amy, and I have this little, it's a note card, little organizer thing that has little tabs in it. And I have them labeled month 1, month 2, oh no, month 3, my club customers and my WIFBox customers. So I kind of go through this each day and I update my customer. I'm kind of a pen and paper kind of person. I've tried to do this online. I've tried to do it in apps, and I just don't seem to be consistent enough with using something on my computer. So I've kind of put my finger over her personal information here, but I've kind of gone to just recording by hand when the date that they place an order, a date that I deliver it, when I send happy mail, or if I send thank you mail, if I send a follow-up message, anything like that. I just track it on my little index card. I've got some index cards that I've flipped over, added a second card for my, great customers. But I try to flip through all of those every day and see who I need to reach out to if I, need to record an order, if I need to follow up with them and make sure that they received their order. Follow up with them to see if there's, if they're needing a refill on their wax, or it's been a few months, maybe they're about to run out of their laundry products. So like I said, I try to consistently do that every day, and I at least try to contact at least 5 people a day. I don't get through the whole stack every day, but if I don't get through everybody, I'll just kind of mark my spot and come back to that spot the next day and keep going with it. But I try to contact at least 5 people a day. Not all 5 people respond, and that's okay. But if I don't get a response, then I try to do a couple more. And then while I'm doing those follow-ups, though, not only am I checking on them to make sure they're doing okay, do they have any questions about their order? I can't tell you how many times I've reached out to customers and they've told me that they either don't know how to use something, or, oh, by the way, my warmer came and the bulb is broken, or they're having trouble with their wax melting. And so when you do reach out and you do follow up, that gives you an opportunity to correct anything that's going on. Because of course, if the customers aren't using their products, then of course they're not going to be reordering because they're not using it up. But that also gives me an opportunity to see if maybe they would be a candidate for hosting or joining as well. A lot of times I will throw it out there to them. If we're having a conversation about something, I will throw it out there that if there's any kind of special going on, like we're having the 10% off, the new, catalog coming out, the new harvest collection coming out. I try to throw any of that kind of stuff out there that's going on, that's special, the new villains. And if it's something I know that they're going to be interested in, I always try to throw the opportunity out there to them that if, and I know my customers too, a lot of times I know whether they would, rather do a home or a texting party. But, then again, sometimes you throw stuff out there and you think that they're going to say no because you think, oh, they'd never have time to do a home party. But every once in a while you throw the idea out there and they're all for it. So you just never know. But, I let them know that they can invite a couple friends over, even if they just want to meet for coffee and smell the scents. If they want to have a texting party where they just, share a party link with some friends. But I let them know that they can get some of the stuff on their wish list for free or half price. And then sometimes, depending on who it is, sometimes I'll just throw the idea out there as, oh, by the way, I am looking for some people that might want to get, some Scentsy free this month, or the join opportunity. Just so you know, I'm looking for some people that might, want to be earning some extra money before Christmas. Do you know anybody? And every once in a while, you'll have a person say, yeah, I know so-and-so at church, or so-and-so at work that might benefit from that. Or sometimes they'll surprise you and they'll say, well, duh, me, I want free Scentsy, or I've been wanting to ask you about joining your team, but I just hadn't got around to asking you. And sometimes, Miss Debbie, it's somebody that you never really would have thought would join your team, and sometimes they just ask you. So what a happy accident. But and then another thing that I try to do, and this is the last thing, and then we'll kind of do discussion. is I try every day to do relationship building. And that looks different every day for me, but I try to make sure that if I am out and about, that I try to spend time with, if I'm meeting customers, if I'm making deliveries, I try to spend a little bit of time with them. Some days it's harder because you're rushing to the next appointment or the next person. But I try to even take just a few minutes to ask them about their pet or about their family, anything that I can. Oh no. Okay. Phew. I I had a pop up on my screen and I clicked on the wrong button and I thought I lost everybody. Whew. Um, it was telling me we have 10 minutes left before it kicks us off. But I try to remember those little things about them. If they, have a pet, um, ask them how their pet's doing. If they have a family member that has been ill, or ask them how the kids are, enjoying going back to school, that kind of thing. And of course, there are some customers that I easily remember that type of stuff. And then there's some customers that I maybe don't see as often. And so sometimes I will use the notes in my phone, under their contact profile in my phone. I'll jot little notes about them, about their pet's name or their kids' names or something like that. And sometimes it's things that I just see on Facebook, that they've posted about. And so when you bring something like that up, and I mean, of course, if it's a sensitive subject, it might be better not to bring it up, but how are the kids like in school? Things like that is usually a safe subject. But they feel like you remember them, and it helps build that relationship with them. And the stronger you build that relationship with your customers, with your team, people in just general life, it's being a good human, but you build that relationship even stronger. And the stronger you build that relationship, the harder it would be for those customers to leave you. I know I have some customers that if they buy something from another Scentsy consultant, or they maybe see a really good deal on the Facebook Marketplace, sometimes they come to me and they tattle on themselves and they're like, "I'm so sorry I cheated on you." And I understand sometimes they find something at an event, like maybe they're at a harvest festival or something, and they're walking by and they see something that's discontinued. Maybe I couldn't get it for them, or I didn't have it, and they, lo and behold, found it from another consultant that's been holding on to it for a few years. So I wouldn't ever begrudge anybody of grabbing something, especially if it's a good deal. But like I said, when you build those relationships, people do feel loyal, and they do feel like they're cheating on you when they go and they buy something. I just hope they never come to me and tell me they bought something at Walmart, because then I feel like I'm slacking on my job. Because I don't want them to ever be out of wax where they have to go to Walmart or be out of bulbs or anything like that. So also, I do some of that relationship building on Facebook. Excuse me. I do try to take the time, which I am on Facebook way more than I probably should be. I could, if I wasn't on Facebook as much as I am, I could probably get a whole lot more stuff done. But I am guilty of scrolling a lot on Facebook. But when I do see a customer, a post that they've made, I don't get stalky about it, but I do try to make comments. Like, when they posted back to school pictures, something like, "Oh my gosh, they're growing like weeds," something sincere. If they post a recipe, "Oh my gosh, that looks delicious," things like that. Because I can't tell you how many times I have commented on something that my customers have posted, and just a few minutes after I comment, I get a text message or a Facebook message from them saying, "Oh, by the way, I need to order something." And they remembered and thought about me because they saw that I commented on their post. And again, it goes back to the relationship building of you know, the more of a relationship you have, the more loyal your customers are going to be. And you end up with lifelong friends as well. So anyway, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording, and then we can kind of, you know, do a little discussion. So we'll see you guys over in the group.